All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Sini. I think it's Sini versus Imperius, taking place here on Last Refuge. Over here on the top right-hand side of the map, we have Sini spawning as the Red Night Elf, and if I'm butchering the name, I am sorry. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom left, we have Imperius spawning as the Teal Human. Human versus Night Elf in this 1v1 matchup. Really glad to be back and just to cast some game. Last Refuge times. Yep. Alright, thank you for joining me, Rubber Cookie. It seems like my Twitch counter is a little bit delayed as things are going to be getting underway. Now, am I expecting an Archmage matchup versus a Keeper of the Grove? Yes, I am. Night Pyre, also thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you guys all enjoy this, and if you guys are looking for more WarCraft 3 casts, definitely check out my channel, but I'm sure since you guys follow me here on Twitch, you're already doing that. Anyways, that's going to go ahead and break things down. We are getting up an Archmage going up against the Keeper of the Grove. Oh yeah, I get to catch Crota live for the first time. Thank you, Karate Kenji, for joining me. Seems like it's a good idea to post on Facebook when I am going live. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitch, subscribe to me on YouTube, subscribe to me on Twitch, and all that social media jazz. Alright, we are going to be looking at a 3-3-3 creep camp. Most likely an archer will be popping on out. Keeper of the Grove will be popping on out here as well. And this game will finally be getting underway. Cups of Fruit, thank you for joining in. And I think I'll be focusing on the majority of the cast now. My apologies if I cannot talk to you until the end of this match. Now, what are we going to be looking for? We're looking to see whether or how many moon wells will be placed down. Tree of Life tech to tier 2. Thank you, Cups of Fruit, for the follow as the Keeper of the Grove. Now going after the Forest Trolls Trapper here. Forest Troll Trapper easily taken down by the medium or the normal damage here. As you can see, a little bit of easy damage there. The Forest Troll Trapper was trying to throw an ensnare onto that archer, but it simply did not work out. Meanwhile, back across over here, Archmage is going to be making its way off to the north, perhaps trying to get to level 2 and go after this Murloc. Any idea why Double Crypt with Mass Gargoyles went out of meta? It was popular when played years ago. Yeah, Mass Gargoyles, Mass Tier 2 just hasn't become as popular as of late. It was only popular in very specific matchups, but the overall increase in damage to range units and anti-air units really shifted that particular strategy away, and it wasn't really that popular at the high end. Occasionally you would see Mad Frog use that particular strategy, and oh, what is this? Apparently has to take down the tent in order to make its way through, trying to clear the Keeper, or trying to clear the back of the creep camp, and there were these tents in the way preventing these forces of nature from actually dealing damage. Alright, forces of nature will get taken out a little bit more quickly here. Down goes one, down goes another. Hello, Tuna Fish. Thank you for tuning in as well. As the Keeper of the Grove does sit at level 2, does have Entangle, and now looking to get to level 3. Over here, this is a 5-3-3 creep camp. More Ents will be joining in. Keeper of the Grove being very careful to try and maintain as much mana on that Keeper of the Grove as much as possible. This one force of nature will end up getting taken down, and you can see beautiful micro between these forces of nature to try and maximize as much damage as possible. It constantly shifted that damage around, so the forces of nature were able to constantly be doing a lot of fighting. Keeper of the Grove now sitting at level 3, but it is low on mana. Will most likely have to go after or get some Moonwell juice to get back up. It will drain these Moonwells, but it looks like there is already a good amount, 40 supply there. 25 over 40 compared to 28 over 36. As both sides playing, well, a 1v1 against the computer. Mainly, thank you for the follow, VVV Hasu. Wow, Hasu, it has been a long time. I don't know if you remember me, but I used to cast you back in the days of, what was that, Wednesday Night StarCraft? Hasu, if you do remember, do definitely let me know. Yeah, I did cast all the way back in the day, including a match between VVV and Slayers, their academy team. Anyways, Keeper of the Grove now making their way back in. It looks like the Ancient of Wonders will be getting taken down. Archers, however, for some reason, not really fighting. And this is a mass footman strategy. I don't see Defend actually being thrown up here, which is a bit of a surprise, as the lower hit point footmen, well, they're the ones that went after all of these archers. That is a bit of a shocker there. You normally want your low hit point footmen to be the ones retreating back to base, while a high hit point footmen are the one diving after all of those archers. Of course I remember you. I came back to War 3 on the weekend, was stoked to see you in the community. Oh, all right, thank you, Hasu. Anyways, Alchemist now joining into the fight here. Keeper of the Grove, Alchemist all together. Wednesday Night StarCraft were some good times, yeah. Me casting alongside Matron, and then also, you know, getting all that cheese getting played in. Oh, I'm reminiscing, thinking about what was that, 5 years ago? 6 years ago it's got to be, as we're now looking at the Archmage looking to clear out the Ogre Mauler and Ogre Magi creep camp. All right, back off to the north. Keeper of the Grove with the Alchemist. Keeper of the Grove will be getting to level 2 here, but we haven't really seen him use a lot of Entangle. Alchemist is incredibly powerful in this matchup as well, especially when you do go wide. And when you go wide, area effect heals generally start outpacing those burst heals, save from the not the Paladin and that Death Knight. Meanwhile, back across over here, we're taking a look. Footmen, it looks as though they might have Defend. I'm not really 100% sure. Mountain King is out onto the field as well, but not that much mana, as he is transferred a Circlet of Nobility. All right, let's take a look back across over here. Alchemist sitting at level 2 does have a Potion of Greater Healing. Keeper of the Grove with that Devotion Aura, and that Ring of Protection really should be transferred to that Alchemist, as you generally want well, low hit point units or high hit point units to have higher armor, as that is overall much more effective, and the Alchemist generally gets into the fights much more often. Really, 51, I am doing very well. I don't know, it feels like a lot of the community wants to chat with me today. If you want to chat, wait in between the games, as we are now looking at the Mountain King trying to get to level 2, as Archmage is now going to get pressured over here by the forces of nature. Meanwhile, a quick ensnare onto a sorceress. Keeper of the Grove gets an easy pick-off kill there, as an ensnare goes down on the force of nature here. Water Elemental into that front line. We do have some Wisp. We're going to get some detonation, perhaps. Mountain King going to lose some mana, but does have a Potion of Mana. Potion of Greater Mana. Archers coming across here. Abolish magic from the Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Mountain King could try to come back with a big thunderclap here. It is right in the midst of everything, but doesn't seem to be going after any of those units. A little bit confused why. Stormbolt finally onto the Forest Troll Berserker, but the Mountain King should have gone after the Forest Troll Shadow Priest instead. Easier pickoff, as now the Mountain King still has a Potion of Mana. All right, low hit point Rifleman down to 78 hit points, trying to get away, down to 38, but it looks like it will not be chased. Meanwhile, more low hit point Rifleman trying to head back here. Alchemist trying to get away, gets in a bash, so it is bash and Stormbolt instead of the clap. Mountain King is not going to be able to really finish off that Alchemist. You can see there is Rune Bracers reducing the amount of magic damage, coupled with the high hit points in addition to a Potion of Greater Healing. Alchemist with 3 armor is not a target that you really want to go after. Forest Troll Trapper is now remaining here. Mountain King desperately wants to get to level 3. The effectiveness of that Stormbolt goes up considerably, as the Tome of Intelligence +2 should really be given. Oh, to the Mountain King, where it would now have 30 mana. Instead, it sits on that Archmage. Archmage is, well, going to be able to get a little bit more bonus damage indeed, as though we see a Scroll of Healing used right there. All right, bash across a Dryad. Alchemist in that front line pretty much needs to be ignored. Rifleman going after so many units. There's no abolish magic as of yet, as the Priest is going to get taken down. Mountain King still trying to fight through, eating through so many of those Force of Natures, but a new batch of trees now joining on the fight. Another, well, another Acid Bomb coming in, moving armor. Militia now joining on the fight as well, and this is going to add a little bit of extra damage, but not for very long though, as the Dryads are also getting picked off as well. Both sides losing a lot more units than I would have expected. Staff of Preservation saves, as well, all of these militia will be returning back home. Archmage heads back off to the north. You see a Tree of Life being expanded over here to the top left. Meanwhile, Alchemist am not using a Clarity Potion, only the Keeper of the Grove, as the Alchemist is already fairly strong on mana. It looks as though, was the Ring of Protection? No, Ring of Protection +2 still on that Keeper of the Grove right there. And let's take a look. 1,000 hit points versus the Keeper of the Grove's 675. So effectively, what, 12% more hit points on a 675 versus 12% more hit points on a 1,000 hit point unit. What would you rather be having? All right, Keeper of the Grove tries to entangle the Rifleman. Priest dispels it, but does get taken down in all of its effort, and losing a Rifleman in transit, even though it was already in a good spot. Rifleman trying to get in some damage, not in a good spot there. We are looking at 36 supply compared to 43. Meanwhile, back off to the north, this Tree of Life will get taken down before it is able to pay for itself at all. Riflemen continue to join in on the fight. Dryads may be able to start poking some free damage here. Acid Bomb across multiple Militia. And will the Dryads, and with their slow poison, also be able to finish off more of those units? Militia joining in only to see themselves taking more and more damage, as well as the Arcane Tower starting to fight back here. Keeper of the Grove still fighting and getting in some free shots. And what is going on here? Both sides are fighting in rather small armies, and, well, units are still being trained by the by the human, as it looks as another entangle will go down. Another Rifleman will get taken out. I believe that is the third Rifleman, as the Keeper of the Grove sits at level 5. Now that we are actually in danger here, I expect the Night Elf player to perhaps try to use a Scroll of Town Portal to head back. No Scroll of Town Portal, may be forced to purchase one. No, just doing the long walk back home. Riflemen without mortar teams means that this slow push, there is no real danger at all any longer, as, well, timing is no longer that big of an issue. The Riflemen are not going to be able to focus down all of these fortified buildings, as, well, the units all now walk back. 40 over 30 supply compared to 41 over 54. Keeper of the Grove sitting at 5, Alchemist sitting at 3, Archmage also sitting at 5, and the Mountain King also sitting at 3. Overall, both sides are fairly even, and it looks as though Human is going to start to be able to pull away, as he's going to be able to clear out some dangerous creep camps. If the Mountain King can get the majority of this experience, and by majority I mean the Archmage will be forced to retreat. If the Mountain King can get the majority of this experience, it can get to level 4 easily, and maybe get that much closer to level 5. Instead, the Archmage sticks around, stealing experience from that Mountain King, as a Cloak of Flames now goes down. Meanwhile, Alchemist creeping by himself. Night Elf, knowing you can only get up to level 5 with creeps, decides to give all that experience to the Alchemist there, and the Alchemist now, well, starts to pull on ahead. Mountain King sitting at level 4, Alchemist is sitting at level 4, but only, well, slightly ahead there with a Potion of Greater Healing and a Mana Stone. Keeper of the Grove gonna go ahead and entangle right there. Is it gonna be able to get away there? You can take a look, a couple of quick, easy shots, tries to get in some Dispel Magic. There goes one, as the Rifleman now, well, getting chased away. A quick Dispel Magic, however, finishes off all 4 of those trees. Keeper of the Grove uses a bit of mana. Oh, Keeper of the Grove, is that Clarity Potion going to end up being lost? No, it is not. Rifleman never got the memo to fire, or perhaps was just constantly out of range. 600 range, I would have thought that would have been enough, as there is one Forest Troll High Priest left behind. Alchemist sitting at level 5. Keeper of the Grove does join in on the fight here. Is it going to stick around? It should not be sticking around, but will end up stealing a bit of very, very crucial experience once more. Staff of Preservation should have gone to the Alchemist. Alchemist should have sent the Keeper of the Grove back home to get more of that experience again, as we're now looking at a Helm of Valor on that Alchemist. Army sizes are looking very strong. No one with an economic advantage. Technological advantage belongs to the Night Elf, as he is at Tier 3. But is he really using any of those Tier 3 upgrades? No upgrades there that I can see. We are going into Hardened Skinned and Mountain Giants, and that may be what he's looking for right there. Mountain King throws a Stormbolt onto the Ogre Magi there, quickly finishes off that Ogre Magi, making sure to not get any Bloodlust on any of those units. Meanwhile, Forest Troll Berserker getting finished off. Mountain King with that Cloak of Flames. It deals 10 damage a second just by standing next to it, as the Mountain King still sitting at level 4. Meanwhile, Scroll of Town Portal lands back down. Where's it going to go? Right there. Acid Bomb. No Acid Bomb. Staff of Preservation saves one unit, as the Alchemist now being forced to retreat again. Rune Bracers on an Alchemist. if the human player decides that focus down that alchemist, he will be in a very, very tough spot, dealing with not only 1175 hit points, but rune bracers and a potion of healing. All right, rifleman trying to go after the dryad there. Is it just going to get staffed of preservation away? It might be exactly that. Alchemist, however, does not have a Scroll of Town portal. What is going on here? Gonna go ahead and just try and dive on in. This may be a bit of an issue. Mountain King now rushes on inside. If it turns into a base race, who is gonna come out ahead as the Dryad now makes her way down to the bottom, not going after any of those units. All right, it looks like it is gonna turn into a base race. Mountain Giant in the backfield. Where is it gonna really go? As you are now taking a look, Mountain Giant, okay, joining in on the fight. Stormbolt taking down a Wisp right there as the Mountain Giant tries to finish off some units. All right, Staff of Preservation. The Alchemist is already back home. What is he going to do exactly with this? Wait, how did this guy get back home too? Staff of Teleportation. All right. Two heroes trying to fight back here. Mountain Giant in a bit of trouble. Are we perhaps going to see some acid bombs as the units are now trying to pull back? Acid bomb, Alchemist, both sides. There you go. Trying to focus down a little bit more of that damage. Keeper of the Grove unable to do very much. Mountain Giant still walking around every which way as Dryads just get picked apart. Meanwhile, a bunch of Ents are back behind over here waiting to try and finish off the remainder of this creep camp. They walked as this one Mountain Giant is in a little bit of trouble. All right, more Mountain Giants join in on the fight. Alchemist is in big trouble here. Are we going to see a potion of healing? Yes, we are. And then a Moonstone as well. And Alchemist just continuing to do more and more. Let's take a look at this Mountain Giant off to the side. We are going to be looking at some big taunts as the Ancient of Wonders are now trying to fight back. Alchemist in that front position. Rifleman, Scroll of Healing being used. I'm not quite sure why. It didn't look like that many units were that low on hit points. A low effective Scroll of Healing as we now see mass detonations coming across. Priests are still full on mana, so there is no danger of units easily falling down due to lack of health. Meanwhile, the Keeper of the Grove is sitting at level 5, nowhere near level 6. Mountain Giant is still in a little bit of trouble, needs to get Staff of Preservation, and we may actually see a Mountain Giant fall. Mountain Giant, one falls, another one could be falling right next as the Mountain Giants are making their way forward. All right, a little bit of a taunt, trying to absorb as much damage, but without that much armor, what can they really possibly do? Meanwhile, Dryads are down across over here, stopping, and the big issue now is there is no longer any economic gain for the human. He is unable to do any more mining. Meanwhile, Night Elf is still with 5 Wisp in the gold mine. Staff of Preservation saves a Mountain Giant. Are you just going to deny that and kill it so that it doesn't give any experience? I'm not sure. Meanwhile, fighting amongst a whole bunch of trees, causing major issues as the Alchemist looking to figure out where he's going to perhaps try and go next. Acid Bomb, Dispel Magic, as the Rifleman realizes, what, I do not want to get entangled in that mess. Our Alchemist still looking to fight back here. Let Nature of Wonders finally taken down. Mountain King trying to make its way forward. All right, walking in between that many trees could potentially be a problem. It is now 43 supply compared to 46. Mountain Giant, this one is going to get stunned out, taken down. However, a big taunt actually works in favor as this one Mountain Giant, sitting at 35 hit points, is still not taken out. Mountain King falls at level 4, as we may finally see another Mountain Giant fall as well. Meanwhile, back down across over here, Dryads, what are they doing? There is no more economy whatsoever. I believe what you see is what you get with the human army, who is now sitting at level 5, getting very close to level 6. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 5 here. 36 supply compared to 41. Scroll of Town Portal finally getting away, and it should be able to finish off some of those Dryads as the Dryads now dance back. Rifleman, Priest, Sorceress, Archmage, all here ready to go. Mountain King not getting resurrected. No gold at all, perhaps. Maybe that is the issue. Let's take a look. Current resources. Yeah, no more gold left. 35 supply compared to 43. Healing Spray keeping the units alive, and Abolish Magic quickly taking down one of those units here. Keeper of the Grove still sitting at level 5, trying to use that Orb of Venom effectively to deal damage over time, as the Archmage is sitting at level 5 but getting very close to level 6. Heading back off to the north. Dryads are here ready to go. We are still getting more and more off. More and more gold for the Night Elf army. Meanwhile, the Nature of Wonders is built off over there. Mountain Giant is in a tough spot. Is it going to get Staff of Preservation? Dryad gets finished off as it gets, well, focused down by those Riflemen. Riflemen are upgraded 2-1. 44 supply compared to 32. And you also got to remember, there is no peasants for the human right now. Or actually, no, very little peasants for the human. He's not mining any lumber. which means that his army is just that much larger. Rifleman now trying to fight back again. Mountain Giant, well, we could have a little bit of a dance back and forth. The Mountain Giant does get slowed. Rifleman trying to make its way off to the north again, and the Mountain Giant could be in trouble. All right, new Mountain Giants being trained back up. Meanwhile, back across over here, Dryad. What is it going to really do hiding behind this Ancient of Wonders? Keeper of the Grove able to pick apart as the Rifleman doing a little bit of a chase, trying to figure out which direction they really want to go. 3 priests seem to be more than enough to keep this army all healthy and topped off. However, once these 2 Ancient of Lores finish training up those Mountain Giants, the timing is going to be huge. As you can take a look, they are now out back onto the field. Ancient of Wonders, Ancient of Lores, the Keeper of the Grove is in from the other side. Are they going to be able to push through with that damage now? Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 5. All right, massive battle continuing to go across as we're taking a look. Mass detonations across multiple wisps. And now the Keeper of the Grove may be able to perhaps entangle a unit and start, well, winning the fight the other way. There goes another unit again. Keeper of the Grove, does it have faster movement speed than these Riflemen? Should be able to get another entangle off. If it's able to win this war of attrition, it should be enough. There's another entangle. Keeper of the Grove seen at level 5. Mountain Giant going to get taken down. Oh, excuse me. Rifleman going to get taken down as the, well, Keeper of the Grove is just now 72 experience away from level 6. Archmage still sitting, or now sitting at level 6, but doesn't have the mana. Has Brilliance Aura level 3 instead of Mass Teleport. And, well, I'm not questioning that reasoning at all. He needs more mana on that Archmage. It doesn't matter if you have Mass Teleport if you do not have the mana to cast it freely. Staff of Preservation should be used here momentarily, trying to cause all of those units to dive on in. Rifleman almost getting that Mountain Giant down to 111 hit points. There's a taunt. Mountain Giant, however, no stat. Oh, wow, beautiful Staff of Preservation. Getting at the last possible minute as all these multiple units are still ending up getting taken down. Scroll of Healing almost finishes off but the priests end up falling anyway. With no more priests, this Rifleman army cannot stick around. Orb of Venom causing problems here. One Rifleman will get taken down. Let's take a look. Another Rifleman unable to get away. Are we perhaps going to get another Staff of Preservation again, or Healing Spray? Mountain King comes out, Storm Bolts, and now that the Mountain King is out onto the field, everything changes again. Clarity Potion quickly being used. We could see another Storm Bolt go down. Are we perhaps going to see a taunt here? Keeper of the Grove could be in trouble. Down to, well, 204 hit points. Is it going to get away in time? That's the big question. Staff of Preservation transferred and saved the Keeper of the Grove at level 6. Meanwhile, what is happening here? Mountain Giant trying to squeeze away Alchemist, trying to help, but unable to do so. The tides have turned once more as the Mountain Giants are falling. Tree of Eternity doing the long, slow walk. Yep, no Nature's Blessing here on this Tree of Eternity, meaning it is going to take quite some time to shift bases. Back across here, Keeper of the Grove is sitting at level 6. Alchemist is sitting at level 5. You really wish you had Transmute at this point, or were able to save more Mountain Giants. Only one Mountain Giant is alive. Archmage walking off to the north with Rifleman. Mountain King is here. This Dryad must realize a fight is about to come across, as that Tree of Eternity is still nowhere near where it wants to be. Mountain King sitting at level 5, Archmage sitting at level 6. No reason to clear out this creep camp other than the item and the gold. Experience is no longer an option, as the Mountain Giant does have siege attack, so it could be able to finish off a handful of these units. All right, a handful of attacks, trying to heal itself up, quickly gets taken down as the Keeper of the, Mountain Giant now makes its way over. All right, we are going to be going into a staff of, oh, nope, Mass Teleport comes across here. Rifleman going to make its way over. There is a Storm Bolt. Mountain Giant taking a lot of damage once again. And are we going to perhaps see Acid Bomb entangle, only to see it backed out? Where's that Staff of Preservation? Why is it not being used? Alchemist should go back there, saves it, and now is in the run again. Mountain King, however, with Boots of Speed, able to close in on that distance, on that Alchemist. Alchemist could be in trouble. There is an entangle, and the Mountain King running too fast for all of his priests. The priest finally going to be able to, that just naturally came to an end. 33 supply compared to 44. Mountain Giant healing up a bunch from those Moonwells. The army is just not large enough here. Keeper of the Grove, I don't know if he's actually used any sort of tranquility or whatnot, as the Alchemist tries to fight back here. There's an entangle onto the Archmage. Archmage about to get falling down. Meanwhile, Mountain King with the Cloak of Flame still causing lots of damage here. Staff of Preservation could be used again. Alchemist sitting at, well, Acid Bomb, just trying to eat away slowly at this army, as the Keeper of the Grove should be using Tranquility to keep all of these units alive and well. All right, Rifleman making its way back over. Armor is perhaps better right now. Stormbolt comes across. Mountain King at 577 hit points. No one is really dealing that much damage to the Mountain King right now. Keeper of the Grove, has it really done anything at all? As there is still enough priests to easily dispel any sort of force of nature army. Keeper of the Grove I have not seen him use the Tranquility as of yet. Meanwhile, back down across over here, Tree of Eternity finally trying to entangle. All right, multiple units. There's Tranquility being used out of battle, but it is going to end up costing you a number of buildings as you're unable to protect this location. Cups of Fruit, howdy, how are you doing? There you are, healing off more units again. Alchemist is still here, ready to go. Clarity Potions perhaps should be picked up by the Keeper of the Grove, maybe even the Alchemist, to get a little bit more healing across these units here. Alchemist wants to be throwing plenty of acid bombs, but without range units, what can it really be done? Ancient of Lore is right there. Rifleman trying to pick back the other way. Archmage is low on mana. You have to be careful. He should not be casting water elementals at this point. He wants water elementals for when the fight actually calls for them. All right, siege damage coming across here. Mountain Giants still doing a dance back and forth. Acid Bomb hitting across multiple units. Priest trying to heal as much of those units as they can. Gonna go ahead and try and finish off a handful more units. There goes another unit there. Is the Acid Bomb, or is the damage over time gonna finish off more? Yes, more and more units are still falling. Another Acid Bomb is most likely we have coming into the books right there, as the Rifleman going after buildings instead. That Moonwell did have some mana, but everything else pretty much was not really that big of an issue. 33 supply compared to 37. No more mining happening for the human again, and that could be the problem. Another round of Tranquility being used, topping off all of those units. Keeper of the Grove needs another Clarity Potion. Alchemist seems to be all right so far. All right, we are turning into a lone build, or a handful of buildings right here, and that is it. Keeper of the Grove once again using a Clarity Potion, has a backup Clarity Potion as well. 33 supply compared to 40, and this is truly a battle of attrition. The Acid Bomb plus the Keeper of the Grove Entangle and Orb of Venom, that damage just adds up so quickly over time. Are we going to get enough Abolished Magics to actually finish off a Water Elemental? Yes, you are. Staff of Preservation to try and stave. Well, are we going to see? Go ahead and fight back right there. Mountain Giant in that front position. Stormbolt onto the Alchemist. Alchemist wants to turn back around. Oh, that is a lot of units all coupled together very closely. Are you going to see an Acid Bomb? No, just going after the Priest. Priest not getting taken down for some reason. No Acid Bomb there. Meanwhile, Staff of Preservation saves another Mountain Giant. Mountain King could try and go in for another Stormbolt here. Amulet of Rune Bracers really causing a bunch of problems, as the Rifleman going to go in and engage again. All right, more fighting getting underway. More taunts getting back and forth. Alchemist, he really needs to be part of this fight, as we are taking a look. Stormbolt, no Staff of Preservation. Acid Bomb right there, as we are looking at, well, smaller armies continuing. Alchemist in a little bit of trouble. Keeper of the Grove trying to head back. Stormbolt there. Are we going to perhaps see a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used in time? Yes, you are, as it is still trying to do a little bit more damage here. Units are on the run. Keeper of the Grove is in trouble. Alchemist could get taken down. Staff of Preservation saves it, as the Mountain King unable to head back off to the north. All right, healing up. Clarity Potions, Healing Spray. Well, should have Healing Sprayed the Mountain Giant as well. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove is off to the races, heading back down to the south, and gets taken down by the Mountain King. Heading back off to the north. Well, nope, not going to have any of that. I am Mr. Winner. Imperius ends up taking this match over Sini, just with a battle of attrition, unable to save multiple units, and only seeing Tranquility used that many times once you got to level 6 was really a bit of a letdown for me. You can use, you always pretty much want to have your Tranquility on cooldown if you are going up against going up against an army that can easily stun you with that Mountain King. That ended up being the problem. Also, not using healing spray effectively. Thank you, Hacky, for the bits. And that is just what ended up happening there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.